Welcome to week 14, Guardian Scholars. This is our penultimate or second to last week of the class. So we'll click here on week 14. And as usual, we're going to have our Zoom class this Monday, 10:30 to 11:30, and then we'll go beyond that if you have more questions. And our focus for this Monday is to actually draft um, a body paragraph or more for essay 4 to just get you going. And so most of you should have already received something in your email saying you're invited to edit. Obviously, you don't need to do anything ahead of time, but I have a model body paragraph and then I have set up breakout rooms. Now, some of you may be in the one where you're writing about dead or in prison and beating the system. And so just for the purposes of Monday, I'm going to just ask you to pick one of the two to focus on. I know some of you only had one of the two books, and so I kind of decided to separate those out for the purposes of what we're doing on Monday. So I'll put you in breakout rooms, and then together you guys can draft a paragraph that will go straight into your essay. So if there's one paragraph that's the same from four people, I'll understand why that is. It shouldn't be your whole essay, but at least one of the body paragraphs can be something you worked on together. And then Bree and I will rotate between the four groups and help answer questions. You can actually click help and we can come to you if you get stuck. So I've got the Google Slides and the Google Doc there, and then I have the links as usual. And so if you are not able to make it to the meeting, I will be putting the live session recording when it's available, and I have the Google Doc there as well so that you can find it. I tried to get everybody to go the week before Thanksgiving so that I could check in with everybody, but I think since I had been doing 2 weeks for the benchmark conferences, some of you got confused. So I decided to go ahead and extend it through this week. So if you got a 0 on your benchmark conference, go ahead and sign up for this coming week and I will change that grade. And then the Embedded Tutor Extra Credit is still available this week and I believe next week as well. There might be some changes next week and I'll have to check with Tutorial Services, but Bree does have 7 slots available. Please make sure to cancel if you cannot make it. And put a reminder in your phone or somewhere that you have an appointment, whether it's for me or for Bree. Okay, our weekly reflective journal 14 for this week is also intended to directly feed into your essay. And so what I want you to do is write your intro paragraph for your rough draft. And then I had a model introduction paragraph just to kind of give you an idea of what I meant. And a lot of it is I want you to have a hook, and this is a hook specific to me, but you would want a hook that you think works for you. And then you want to introduce the sources that you're talking about. So I used the Calcaterra etched in sand for my example, and then you have your thesis statement. And then I kind of thought through how would I then develop this. And I've given you a number of different outlines that work. They're not all the same, and you want to go with what makes sense to you. But hopefully those will give you an idea. Now, the major assignments this week are the rough draft and peer review, and then the final draft of Essay 4. So I do want to encourage you, if you've gotten behind and you're trying to make up, please finish Essay 4 first and then work on making up other stuff. So I've got and the Power Up Challenge this week, by the way, is if you turn your rough draft in on time and you complete a peer review, you can get double credit on this particular activity. So beyond that, we have our Writing Center. Now, it's one of the weeks where I have it worth double credit. It's worth 20 points to talk with an instructor or tutor at the Writing Center, or you could use Tutorial Services, or you could use a meeting with Bree. Though if you're meeting with Bree, that's extra credit. So I would kind of clarify what you're doing with, if you're meeting with Bree, is it for the VWRC or is it for the extra credit? But for the VWRC, this is sitting down, well, meeting with somebody virtually to talk about your essay for rough draft, and you want to have at least 3 specific questions about your writing assignment. You'll write those questions down before you meet with them, and then afterwards you're going to write the 3 sentences about what you learned. Please include the name of the person that you talk to, and that is going to be your evidence. And so if you can track how much time you spent on this, and then of course submit the assignment. And that's due Thursday. You'll notice that there is no 3S's assignment this week because we are done with the 3S's book. And so really the last assignment is by Saturday or Friday if you want. Turn in your final draft for Essay 4, and that is it. There's one more thing in the module that I wanted to point out, which is I made a resources models page and put it at the very bottom of the week. And all this does is it has everything that I've given you in other places so far, and I might add more there after I talk with people if I get more ideas of things that would help you. So I've got the Essay 4 guidelines there. I have the Google Doc that we did before Thanksgiving break where I showed you model outlines, model body paragraphs, and then I added in the model intro that's also on the weekly reflective journal. And then I have the one that we're going to be doing on Monday. Right now there's not a lot in there other than my one model paragraph, but after Monday there should be example paragraphs that you guys created in groups. Okay. And then we're moving on to the next week. So we won't get into that until next week. But please let me know if you cannot meet with me at the times that I have available on ConferZoom. Please just let me know. Give me a couple of options that work for you. I am also scheduling things around my kids and other things. So, but please, if you're meeting with me at a time that is kind of odd, like 8 o'clock at night, please make sure that you show. It's a little bit frustrating for me if I arrange my schedule around when you're available and then you don't show. So please do make sure to show. I do really want to support you. We're getting down to the wire. So whether you want to talk about Essay 4 or talk about some late work that you're trying to complete, just let me know. I did want to say one other thing is, and I've said this multiple times before, if you're behind, go into assignments, go to show by type, and look at the first 2 categories. The number 1 category, 70% of the whole class is here in the writing category, and so focus in on completing the work in this category. The second category that's also really important is the reading and research. And part of the reason this is so important is that it really is the foundation for your essays, right? That you've done the reading from Grit, that you've done the book club crew log. There are a number of book club crew logs that have not been turned in yet, and so if you turn it in late, you can still get credit. The research quests, all of these are things that help you towards your final drafts of your essays. But this writing category really is the number 1 thing that I want you to focus on. If you've already turned an essay in and you want to rewrite it, I highly encourage you to either meet with Bree or meet with me just to make sure that you understand what it is that you really need to work on. Sometimes people do rewrites and they're a little bit confused by the comments, and so I would like to meet with you or have you meet with Bree to make sure you know what you can do to improve. All right, have a great week, and I hope to talk to many of you and help you guys along. All right, bye-bye.